So in this presentation, we are going to discuss increasing conversions on independent insurance agency websites. For some background, I am the owner and operator of Convirtue. We're based here in Denver, Colorado. Um, I started out working at an independent insurance agency about 7 years ago. I was hired as a marketing specialist. During that time, I created an internal program leveraging content marketing and SEO. We became the top ranking agency in the state of Connecticut. And within that, I saw an opportunity to really roll out this program to other independent insurance agencies. So I started Convirtue in early 2020. We specialize in helping independent insurance agencies grow, specifically through content marketing and SEO. So what we'll discuss in this presentation, what conversion rate optimization is, and specific tactics that you can incorporate on your website today that will actually increase conversions. So what is conversion rate optimization, or also known as CRO? It's the systematic process of increasing the percentage of website visitors who take a desired action on your website. So an example of this within the insurance space, requesting a quote, calling your agency directly, or contacting a CSR. So why does CRO matter? It really helps independent insurance agencies increase website traffic and improves the overall user experience, and it reduces customer acquisition costs. This leads to increased customer satisfaction and improved bottom line for agencies. So to recap, increasing sales and revenue, improving lead generation, reducing customer acquisition costs, and enhancing customer satisfaction. So some examples of conversion rate optimization, CRO. So this is the active process of testing on your website or digital foundation. One way to do this is actually user testing. So observing real users and identifying interactions that they're having on your website. A way to do this in a cost-effective way to do this is actually asking your clients, customers, or prospects how they came across your website, whether it be through a referral or through Google, and their actual interaction with your website. And maybe talk through any sort of problems. Did you have any problems filling out the form? Or did you find this information, through our top level menu? You can simply ask them after the quoting process and they become an official client, but it's a really cost effective way. A lot of the times people will share the bad experiences, but within that is extremely helpful information. If you found out that your phone number wasn't listed correctly, or a registration form wasn't acting correctly, you can catch this from your clients and fix this, and thus increasing conversions. Also heat maps. So you can see where people are actually clicking on your website. There's a lot of free tools out there that you can actually just add to or a bit of code to your website. And you can be sent weekly updates about how people are interacting with your website, where they're navigating to, where they're clicking to, and you can, structure your content accordingly. Also form optimization. So you can see where people are interacting with that form, whether it be on mobile or on website, how long it's taking them to fill out that form. We typically say to have anywhere from 3 to 4 fields, which I'll get into in just a little bit, to capture that crucial information and then send them to a thank you page where you can have a long form submission where they can fill out all the crucial information that someone needs to properly generate an insurance quote. So diving into the fun stuff. So some proven tactics to actually increase conversions on your website. So the power of now, and this has been tested. We've tested this internally, as well as there's a plethora of other kind of CRO agencies out there. This particular company says that adding now to your CTAs or call to actions, meaning that call to action button that's highlighted here can skyrocket conversions by 90%. So including now across those primary call to actions. But I do want to clarify that you need to set the expectations for that particular customer. So if it's saying get insured now, you better have a sequence in place where they can fill out their name, phone number, insurance needed, etc., and that they're sent to a service or a software, something similar to a Canopy, where they can actually get into the quoting process, and or that a client or more so an agent is picking up the phone and calling them within a 5 to 10 minute span. You need to set the expectations. I actually wouldn't recommend including now if you don't have the proper sales force, or you don't have the proper software to accommodate that experience. But if you do have that put in place, definitely including now, as you can see, increases conversions. Second being strong color contrast. So what that means is increasing the opportunity that someone can see that primary call to action, which should have a strong color contrast. A way to really test this on your own website is simply squinting your eyes and looking at the above the fold section. So when you load the website and don't scroll through the site, just have that first impression, squint your eyes and see if any of those elements or any of those call to actions really pop out. If they don't, you should consider increasing the color contrast. We typically say let's say it's color on the color wheel to have the strong contrast. It really depends, and you can also test this as well by changing the color. It has been known that red is typically a best practice. But I would say, if your branding, your logo, your website is very much red, that particular call to action isn't really going to pop out as much. So diving into some results here, some stats. So iTrack found that increasing the color contrast can increase click-through rates by 24%. Quick example here, this particular agency, if you squint your eyes and look at this screenshot to the left, it's hard to really say if this is the primary call to action. I would argue that outside of just the color contrast, that the about us should probably be changed to get a quote. It wouldn't necessarily make sense that they're sending customers here and that the primary way they want to capture leads is to send them to their story or about us page. So the way to kind of tweak that is increasing the color contrast and possibly changing that to get a quote versus this agency. As you can see here, if you squint your eyes, this particular call to action, which is the primary call to action, right? Get a quote, it is listed there, and it's really easy for someone to navigate, find that, click on it, the listing, and start their quoting process. Going back again, needs work, and then this would be optimized. So number 3, always visible call to action. So what this is when someone is scrolling through your website, if you have a really in-depth homepage or a really in-depth policy page, when they're scrolling through, they're reading through the content, they're reading the reviews that you might have, the primary call to action sticks with them throughout the entire experience. So they don't have to scroll all the way up to the top level menu or scroll all the way to the footer section to start their journey. It limits conversion friction. And this is really important on mobile, especially because this particular page on mobile, it probably takes 20 scrolls to get to the bottom of the page. And if they decide to work with that agency, they have to scroll all the way up to the top to potentially click that get a quote section. Really important to have that on mobile, especially with the primary action being click to call, which I'll get into in just a little bit. But as you can see here, convert.com, I reported that a sticky menu can increase conversion by 22%, as well as the overall experience, because if they're not necessarily compelled enough to convert, they also have that opportunity to navigate other sections of the website. So 4 fields, I breezed over this before, but having an optimized registration form Typically, we recommend anywhere from 3 to 4 fields where it would be their name, their email, their phone number, and the insurance needed. I see a lot of the times agencies will have kind of tickers here, or boxes to check out, and you can select home or auto or what have you. We typically recommend just having a blank field there where they can enter in that information. Because if I'm, say, a business owner and I want general liability insurance, workers' comp insurance, E&O insurance, but I also want to get personal coverage for my boat or life insurance or what have you, it's really hard to list all of those policy types in one small area. So we just recommend just having an empty field there, and they can enter in any information. Um, After that point, you can send them to a follow-up page, which I'll talk about after this particular slide, to have a follow-up form or in-depth form where you can actually take that information and move it into your agency, system where you can actually generate the quote or work with those carriers when you pick up the phone and actually have a quote ready for them versus the vetting process where you'll at least have this crucial information to contact them that gives them the opportunity to really start the quote, going back to the now term or keyword that I mentioned before. So looking at the conversion optimization or the stat here, a study by QuickSprout found that having a form with anywhere from 3 to 4 fields saw a conversion rate of around 25% increase. And then according to YP Forms, removing as little as one form can boost conversion by 26%. So really, really impactful to kind of limit the amount of fields there with the crucial information, and then send them to a follow-up page, which is a great segue into the next slide here, having a post conversion thank you page to indicate to the consumer or to that prospect what the next steps are. So including that, an agent will be in contact with you within 24 hours, or will send you an email, or someone will call you directly, setting that expectation, and then also giving them an opportunity where they can actually get into the quoting process, leveraging a tool like Canopy, where if they have all their information, they can get started there. It really is an opportunity to optimize conversion outside of just the initial fields, giving them the most opportunity to convert, because people have the opportunity to shop. They can open up another tab and go directly to a carrier. So if you really capture them in that lead flow, it gives you more opportunity to really close that business. Live chat. So live chat is really important for conversions. Constantly hear that, a live chat bot is very expensive. There are, premium services out there that do great work. But, sometimes agents don't have the budget to allocate for that. Well, there's a free tool. Facebook offers a free chat feature that you can copy and paste from your Facebook page and embed it right onto your website. So if you use a service like WordPress or Duda, Wix, what have you, it will populate immediately when that is added in there. And then you can set up sequences within your Facebook page. And a lot of people are familiar with the Facebook platform. So the user face it's not necessarily a new platform or a new software. And also when they are interacting with you, it is sent to their Facebook Messenger. So that conversation is saved in their Facebook Messenger account, versus you probably experienced this before. You'll go to a website, you'll enter in some information in a chat bot, you close out the tab, it deletes that conversation, and you got to start back over again with the Facebook app, which again is completely free. It will store that information. You'll also capture their information through Facebook, and if you want to have a personal interaction and you check out their profile or see their cover page and they have their favorite baseball team or football team, that could be a great conversation starter as well. So talking through some stats here, having live chat can increase conversions by 3.87%. It doesn't seem that substantial compared to others, but also because it's a free tool, you might as well add it in there. And then the last one, click to call. This is more of a fix rather than optimizing this on websites, but I constantly see this, and it's infuriating to see this across so many different websites, especially local businesses, where they have their phone number listed there. But when you're on mobile and you click the phone number, it doesn't open up the actual opportunity to call them directly. You have to zoom in on the screen and copy and paste that or jot it down. That just increases conversion friction, and it's an overall bad experience for the user. So, what you want to do is make sure that every phone number is click to call. You can indicate to your web developer marketing agency and make sure, send them an email, say every phone number that we have listed on the website, make sure that it is click to call. And that, as you can see here, can increase conversions by 400%. So that's quite substantial. So that's essentially it for those tactics. There are so many others out there, but just a few that you can immediately incorporate in your marketing strategy or on your websites. If you'd like more information about insurance marketing, feel free to reach out to me on X and LinkedIn. Brandon Dendas is my tag there. And if you are interested in learning more about optimizing your website for conversions, feel free to venture over to convirtue.com. You can enter in your information. We can set up a conversation or consultation and talk through how your website performs as it relates to conversion, as well as SEO and content marketing. Appreciate you taking the time to watch this. And Canopy, thank you for having me on to share these insights.